Hey guys, Dr. Shook here. Here's another sauna session for you, and in this one, we're going to talk about a really important topic. It's important because so many people are addicted to this thing, caffeine, right? They're addicted to caffeine. And when they're changing their diet, and when I'm helping people, I always have them get off of caffeine. Like, why can't I have coffee? I don't understand. They're addicted to it. They need it. I mean, I see people that drink 10, 15 cups a day. You get a problem, right? When you're doing that. It's not that coffee's bad forever, but look, when you're trying to get your health back and you're not feeling great, if you're drinking coffee and you're taking adrenal stimulants, you got to stop. I mean, that's the typical approach, right? In most cases, you got to stop. Now, I'm not telling you if you're doing all these things. I can't give you medical advice here, but I want to give you an idea of, in similar cases, what I see. So, so here's the thing. Coffee stimulates your adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands produce cortisol and basically adrenaline, epinephrine and norepinephrine. Those things and stimulants they will suppress your TPO activity, thyroid peroxidase, which is required to manufacture T4 and T3 in the thyroid. So it basically suppresses your thyroid hormone activity. So if you're riding on adrenaline and you're stimulating your adrenals over and over, that's a problem. That's a big issue. You can suppress your thyroid just by being addicted to all these adrenal stimulants. So I'm going to tell you, that's one of the things that you really got to look very closely at. So there's strategies that you can utilize. What I primarily try to do are use adrenal adaptogens with people, like ashwagandha root or phosphatidylserine, things that can help support adrenal function. Make sure they're getting enough sleep. Make sure that they're managing stress as good as possible. And then if they're drinking a ton of coffee, right, then you want to say, all right, let's taper off. Let's do this tapering over a week or two, right, to where you're consciously monitoring what you drink and you're tapering it back so that at 2 weeks you're done, right? You're 1 cup of coffee, and then the next day you're done, and then you start really focusing on your diet and other things. I mean, you can do all this at once. I would recommend that you actually, if you're going to change a dietary approach and you need time to wean off of coffee, you try to do it before you actually start the diet. But if you start the dietary approach at about the same time you get off coffee, that's okay. But weaning off of certain foods can be very, very difficult because you have withdrawal symptoms of some things like gluten and dairy, sugar for sure. These things all can stimulate pleasure centers of the brain and be very, very addictive. So we know that sugar stimulates the same pleasure centers of the brain that cocaine does. Extremely, extremely addictive. Gluten can metabolize into gluteomorphine, like an opiate-like substance. Casein, which is a primary protein in dairy, can metabolize into casomorphine, which are very addictive. So these things, imagine, you're coming off of coffee, you're like, all right, I'm going to go cold turkey. I'm going to start this diet. I'm going to go cold turkey on caffeine, which I'm going to have addiction to. I'm going to go cold turkey on gluten, dairy, and I'm going to go cold turkey on sugar. That's a bad few days. that can be a bad few days. And it can make you feel terrible, and you can question if this is healthy for you, right? But you don't realize that you're going through withdrawal symptoms. So I just wanted to kind of share this with you guys. The stimulants are a bad deal. If you cut them all out at one time, it can be a problem, especially depending on your level of addiction. We've got to put in strategies to help you cope and transition to your body working more to take over all these functions of stimulation. Okay, and that means taking out the artificial stimulants like the caffeine. And I don't mean they're artificial, but they're exogenous. They're coming in from the outside to stimulate your physiology. You want the body to self-regulate, right? So we want to get these things that we're consuming out of our diet and rely on food and rest and work with the body's natural mechanisms. Okay, so I hope that helps. Caffeine, it's a tough one, I know, but it's not forever. So what I tell people, it's not forever. If you're in a bad place, sorry guys, it is blazing hot in here. It's hard to even think and see. I have sweat down my eyes. It's hard to even look at the screen here. If you're consuming caffeine, you want to taper off of it in most cases, but it doesn't mean you can't try it later. But if you're having problems recovering your health and you're having a lot of difficulties with your thyroid or your gut or your adrenals or everything, whatever's going on, you got to look at this and you got to say, okay, I'm willing to do this for a period of time, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, and be dedicated because my health is worth it, right? So no, it's not forever. You can try to reintroduce it once you get your body systemically healthier to tolerate it, but always in moderation, or you can end up in the same place you were. Okay, so Dr. Shook, appreciate you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in to listen to me talk about caffeine, and I'll see you guys on the next live stream or on the next video. Thanks.